the paperboy from Better Off Dead would probably look at her as like a mentor. She'd have that back there, but really work out a good thing with them. The xenomorph would
she might be more than that to him.
Yeah.
He's a little young. Yeah, he's in that
like a mother
prepubescent stage.
And then like a xenomorph. Like
now, you don't think you're going to get bogged down with that people in your locker room like questioning the rules with the gremlins, like
it would be apocalypse.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like because there are some serious flaws to the rules.
If a gremlin got loose, the world would be over.
Yeah, because the rules are impossible to live by. Because they don't, time zones and everything. So I'm just curious, will there be any sort of discussion in the locker room about that with her? Or is it just, I don't care?
I think respect.
Okay.
Like, you murdered 3 gremlins.
Fair enough.
You weren't supposed to, stereotypically in these movies, you're dead, or you're getting beat up, or you're the damsel in distress.
Fair enough.
She took it to him.
Yeah.
So respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. That's okay. Yeah.
I mean, she stabbed a gremlin 3 times with, like, a Michael Myers-esque blade.
And it's like, what the brilliance of the Gremlins is, it was actually, like, sold and marketed, like, as a, like, kind of like a quasi-kids movie.
It's one of the reasons PG-13 happened.
It was and it's, like, so disturbing.
It's messed up.
It's brutally disturbing.
Also,
I kind of like I definitely was, I think by accident, you're bringing together some interesting chemistry to your locker room.
Yeah, I got some weird stuff going on.
Yeah. You definitely are more eclectic than me.
And also, there's a scene in the movie in Gremlins where she's cutting onions, and she's watching It's a Wonderful Life, and she's not crying. That's a tough lady.
That's next level stuff right there.
Yeah, you don't mess with her.
No.
All right, who's your next one? Fincher, right?
Yeah, I'm back to Fincher, and everyone's going to see a kind of a thread here. But I love the books, and I just think she's just a badass, and I need somebody to pair up with Amy Dunn. So Lisbeth Salander, Rooney Mara's coming to town, man.
Yeah,
we're putting. I need somebody. I can't not have someone for Amy Dunn in the locker room. I need another strong female presence because Amy Dunn will take over. She will completely own it, and there needs to be a counterbalance to that where, and Lisbeth Salender's not going to she's not taking it from anybody.
And she'll have dirt on everybody. They won't want to do anything to her because she'll just turn them in.
Right. And then when you think about just from an analytics standpoint, everything in sports today is analytics. I got Lisbeth. So when it comes to I got people that know how to prepare, but I have someone that can actually do the big data, like your wife, that works in big data. I got the big data person that understands analytics and can bring that to the table as well. And she's just no nonsense, man. She is a cold-blooded, but she's another anti-hero, man. Yeah. I could see Amy Dunn even being a little wary of Lisbeth Salander. Yeah, I could. She may not admit it. She may try to play tough with it, but I think that even she would be somewhat intimidated by it.
There's levels.
Because she's small, and you look at her, but and then we'd have all the chain smoking in the locker room, which would be awesome. Yeah, so it would just be.
She'd be like Nigel Gruff from The Replacements. Yeah, is there a cigarette in her mouth?
So that's that. So I'm gonna go with Rooney Mara as my selection because I think I'm kind of rounding out. And you can see every one of my guys. They're somewhat antisocial. They're definitely got a chip on their shoulder, but there's some positive traits in all of them. I know some people might argue Amy Dunn, but her positive trait is she was played by Rosamund Pike, that's the only positive trait you need.
All right, so I'm on to Fincher, right?
Yes.
Okay, so with Fincher, I'm picking another sociopath, and I'm going to the TV show Mindhunter, and I'm picking Ed Kemper, played by Cameron Britton, the 6'8", probably 300-pound murderer, but put him on an offensive line. And there's nothing. People aren't going to want to mess with him. He's huge. Have you seen, so in Mindhunter, just a massive, he's smart too, and he's manipulative, and he knows how to play people. And so Ed Kemper, I think, would just, I don't know, having him on an offensive line, you'd have to take him back to jail every weekend, or when the games aren't there, but just put him on the field with many, many security guards, and he'll be a legit offensive lineman for me.
Honestly, I've seen episodes. I'm not 100% familiar. I know who you're discussing, but
he's huge, 6'6", 300 pounds, pretty. And there's some scenes where he is just intimidating. Jonathan Groff, who's in that show, he's an intimidating presence. So you have him on the offensive line. Oh my gosh! And I have another serial killer on my team.
Yes, you do.
I'm going brutal. All right, who's your last one? Then we'll take a quick break. Who's your 6th pick in the draft?
You know, it's interesting. Based on your last pick, I changed. Well, this was on my big board, but I'm moving them up because I think it's a nice tie into what your just pick is. So I'm going because I'm on 80s comedies. So my selection. And I had to double check. The reason I was just looking down is I want to make sure I got his name correct from the movie. But I'm going with, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Charles Jefferson.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going one of Forrest Whitaker's earliest movies. I'm taking Charles Jefferson. You know what's going to motivate him.
Yep.
So I got people that will be more than happy to bang up his car, to trash it, but they might even go further.
Yeah.
I have people in my locker room that are going to know how to push buttons.
Yeah.
And especially his buttons. He's not a big thinker,
no.
So he's obviously going to play linebacker. He can play line.
Like a John Favreau-esque from The Replacements. Get him worked up and send him.
There you go. So anyway, and like literally he will just people on the other side are literally shaking once you get him properly motivated.
Yeah, Ed Kemper would be like, even though he's a brutal serial killer, he'd be like, this guy's probably going to get past me.
Yeah. So, in that role, he's young. He's obviously a high school senior. But like the one kid said, man, they just flew him in for games. Yep. So, maybe he's older than we realized.
But also, we know that Whitaker is a very smart man. So maybe as he gets older, he becomes a very leader, like a what?
He becomes Idi Amin.
Yeah, you're right. He becomes leader, like a tyrant,
a sociopathic, murderous leader. So he's going to be growing in. He will be groomed in my locker room.
Yeah, he'll be. You groom him right, but with the people he's with, he might go the wrong way.
Oh. I don't even think but I'm just looking for production. Off the field stuff I'm not overly concerned about.
The Patriots will keep him in check.
While he's with us, I have people that will keep him in check. But once the Patriots, once you outserve your usefulness, like Aaron Hernandez, goodbye.
Yeah.
We don't care about you anymore.
What's your name?
Yeah. We don't even know who you are, baby.
All right, how about this? Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll draft the rest of our team. All right, so you know what? I'm just going full villain on my team. I got some good people, but I got to do this. So my next pick is an offensive tackle from Little Shop of Horrors. It's Audrey 2. A gigantic... it's in a pot, right? So he can't pull. There's no pulling.
Yeah, you have some mobility issues on this one.
But as a stationary tackle that can eat people, you're not... no defensive player is going to get around him. And if they have to run around him, then that just gives the quarterback more time on either side. You know what I mean? It can do some hopping, right? And we'll put some, it's NFL, dude. We can make something really fancy for this plant to move on, but you're not getting around him. That's a wall right there. This is a plant that could play 30 years in the NFL. Just an old, really good offensive lineman that takes up the spot of 3 offensive linemen, right? So you're not getting around him. You're not getting through him. You got to go around him. And you have to give a wide berth because you might get eaten. So
how is that going to work in the locker room?
Just put him on a cart.
But I'm talking the interaction. We're talking someone that's obviously Rick Moranis' character is just so subjugated in that role that it doesn't even realize he's being manipulated. But you got people in your room that aren't going to tolerate a lot of Audrey 2's nonsense.
Yeah, but also I think that's going to lead to Audrey's not going to try that on Ed Kemper, right? He's not going to try that on Vigo.
I don't think Audrey 2 has an inner voice to stop that. I think,
you know what though, as long as he can get me some good yards on offense and not eat my team, then I think they'll take him. You know that person that you'd rather have on your team than you'd rather have on your team than play against. Does that make sense? Like the devil you know.
Right.
So I think they would happily bring in this plant to protect the quarterback. I really do. And he wouldn't eat his own team. It gets paid. It's money. He wasn't getting paid in Little Shop of Horrors. He was just locked in a room.
Okay.
And they're like, listen, this is big money. This is the NFL. We own you. Like, not own you, but we have you on contract. Do you like this money? Do you like your giant Corvette that we made for you? That is basically a semi-truck, but looks like a Corvette? Like, you won't get that if you quit. Like, go back to Rick Moranis' shop. Or do you want to have the fame? Do you want to be on a playing card? He'll get it.
Okay. I see where you're going with this. I'm definitely going to be a little Mel Kuyperish here. I'm not seeing it. I think you're underestimating the issues that you're going to have in the locker room. I think that you have some strong personalities that aren't going to tolerate. I mean, we're talking about one mouthy.
Oh, he's very mouthy.
And you have some folks on your team that are. You think the Zodiac's going to be putting up with?
But he won't be around. He'll just be on the field.
But even in the huddle, I mean, I could see Audrey unintentionally antagonizing people because of a lack of self-awareness, and you might be a man down like mid-season because like someone like the Zodiac might take her out.
I think when money gets involved, I think everything changes. You watch these movies where people change with their money. I think Clockwork Orange, right? He loved ultraviolence, but then he became a celebrity. Remember that?
Yes.
He was a feral animal in that movie, and then he became famous, right? So I see that happen to Audrey. I really do, too.
Okay.
I see it.
I'm. You know what? There are a lot of players that, on draft day, either in the BSFL draft or the NFL draft that I question, and then all of a sudden you see them assimilated in the locker room, and I've been proven wrong. So I will give you a wide berth here, and I'm gonna give you that one. But I'm definitely not 100% all in on that one.
Who's your Fincher pick?
No, am I on Fincher?
Yeah, I just did 80s comedies, so then you're on Fincher.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah,
my last one was
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker. So, okay. So this is going to be a controversial one because he's a controversial figure. But we're talking about, let's just play it straight here, okay? And I really debated between the husband or the wife, but I gotta put Frank Underwood.
Oh, Frank Underwood.
I thought about Stamper, but I just feel like Stamper is too much of a. I mean, you need followers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that, but he's too much of a follower for me. I thought about Claire, pairing a Lisbeth Salander and a Amy Dunn together with Claire, but that might be too much of the sameness coming on. So by virtue of that, by process of elimination. Excuse me. I'm going to lead towards the master manipulator, and it'll be fun to see Frank Underwood and Amy Dunn, go the battle of wits. I don't have a ton of brain power in my locker room. I will admit. I mean, Lisbeth Salander is great. Billy Zabka is great, but I mean, we're not talking iconic IQs here. Amy Dunn.
How would Lisbeth deal with Frank?
Not well.
Yeah.
There's gonna look.
You just interjected you just put a piranha in your team.
Yeah. No, but you look how Lisbeth Salander handles. She knows how to keep strong men in line. Plus, the other problem is, if you want to go meta here, Lisbeth Salander is played by Rooney Mara. Rooney Mara's sister is Kate Mara, and that's who Frank Underwood. Yeah.
Hey,
so
man.
So there might be some some issues in this that go on here. But I feel that I think Frank's
he's on the Patriots, so it's perfect.
He'll bring in some ribs, and we'll be our pregame meal at 7 a.m. is going to be we're gonna have some ribs, and so but I like that dynamic of putting everything's revolving around Amy Dunn. So it's just that person. So everyone I'm thinking about has to interact with her. And I feel like, and I still think Amy Dunn will get the better of her. I think the only one that's going to make her concerned in the locker room will be Lisbeth Salander. That's going to be the only match. But just watching those two, knowing that they're trying.
But if she lets Lisbeth be herself and doesn't try to impose, I think Lisbeth won't care.
Fair enough. But she will have the respect for Lisbeth Salander to leave her alone.
Yeah.
She's not going to and now, let's just face it, she's going to have no respect for Kevin Spacey in the locker room. But just the mental titans that would be going out, like, for control of the locker room, control of the team.
This is Shakespeare.
Yeah. As the guy who is owning the team, I have to admit, I would be fascinated to see that be executed.
This is a social experiment for you.
A little bit.
I'm going, like, longest yard.
Well, yeah, you're going more towards positional players, and I'm definitely thinking more about my locker room, about the intermeshing of a social experiment. I think as people listen to this, your on-field product is going to be better than mine. But I feel like if we lose, I feel like within 5 hours, like all your players will be somehow missing because there'll be so much revenge going on from my teammates. From my players will be seeking revenge after the game.
Oh man! All right, I got a really random pick here.
Okay.